Uh-oh, something came up.
I'm recording.
Okay.
Well, I'm just gonna repeat what I told you earlier. I wanted to do. I've been wanting to do a bunch of interviews with people
Right.
who've been really important in my development in Denver
Well,
and
thank you.
otherwise, and as a creative person, and just also recognizing all the amazing creative folks that are in town, and
Uh-huh.
also out of town, because you're not
Right.
here anymore. And also, I'm really interested, especially because of the times we're in right now, of talking about things that are really important to remember, or
Right.
some kind of inspirational something, but also the work that you're doing, and just really kind of informal.
Uh-huh. Okay. You go ask the questions. I will
Ah!
try to answer them.
Okay, well, I mean, just if you could just recap a little bit of what you do now and what you have done, and yeah, we'll start there.
What do I do right now? I'm talking on Zoom. I'm trying to, I do a radio show every Saturday that broadcasts on blogtalkradio.com,
Hmm.
but it also is on every Sunday at 3 p.m. recorded on kuhsdenver.com for you folks out there in Colorado. And what I'm doing right now, besides that, right now I'm teleserving, working with some AmeriCorps Vista members. I've done that before in the past,
Hmm.
and I'm doing that, helping them, mentoring them, supervising them a little, and just getting them together. But this whole Corona situation changed everything,
Yeah.
so we're all at home. Everyone's home now.
Are you
And
all
rather
connected?
than me placing people to different locations,
Hmm.
they're at home
Are you all able to keep connected somehow?
through Zoom,
Zoom? Yeah.
through
Are
Zoom,
you
email.
so
It's all
what are ways that you're able to collaborate in the spaces that we're in right now, which feel kind of limiting, but
not
are
really. Actually, it's kind of it's actually the type of work I do. It can be done at home, which I'm
mhm,
doing. I mean, really, I don't need to be in a office space. I don't need to see folks, but every so often.
mhm,
And the only thing that I'm not doing, which I was doing, is like recruiting people. That means traveling across the state,
mhm.
recruiting people for positions. So I
Okay.
can't do that now.
All right. And what can you say more what you all do?
Well, American Vista is it's the American version of the Peace Corps. Vista was started back in 1960, where folks volunteer in different communities in need. The goal is to end poverty, and they've been working on that since 1960. And so you can say what you want about that, but the thing is, that's the goal. You place people in different locations in the country, like they do with the Peace Corps, where they place folks all over the world. They place them in different locations of need. The ones I work with are being placed everywhere from after school programs to, and those are done because there's no school right now, to everything from like shelters, food banks, you name it, anywhere where there's some need. And that's where you place folks.
Okay. That's
Work,
awesome.
helping them work with veterans organizations, things like that. But that is all right now in flux. It's all in
Yeah.
flux right now.
Are there talks about like reformatting?
Yeah, that's what's going. Because a lot of folks who were working in the schools now are working. Some of them are actually working at food banks, or some in
Mhm.
hospitals or with FEMA, things like that. But still, they can't really leave their homes. So they're basically doing that type of work in their homes, teleserving.
Yeah. And so there are some challenges there, it
Right,
sounds
as
like.
it is with everywhere.
Yeah. Um, what what are some things that you're taking forward from this, like when we're able to actually come out of our homes?
When we get, my main thing is when we're able to come out of when the international flights open up, I'm out of here. I'm back in Bangkok. I am
Okay.
not staying around. I am like out.
You're
I'm
in
going back home.
and you're in Thailand right now?
No, I'm in America. Come on
Oh
now.
shoot.
I'm in America.
You're like, what? Look at this. Look at this. This is okay. I didn't realize that. I thought you were
Don't tell. See,
still
that's the thing. That's the thing about Facebook. I've been saying this since January. I'm in Des Moines, Iowa. I've been
okay.
here since January. I've been
Okay.
telling. I tell folks, and they're like, "Oh, you're in Thailand?" It's like, no, you. Look at this.
It's
Look at
because
this.
we all
Stop.
oh shoot.
Look at this. Look at this. That look like
I
Thailand.
was you're right. It's not as much
That
greenery
look
and
like
stuff.
Thailand. Good grief!
It's
I
just
post things on Facebook all the time, and people. There are some people who still think I'm on Kuvo. There are some people that still think I live in Denver. There's a
mhm.
few that think I'm still in D.C. It's like, don't y'all read? I
It's
am in the U.S. I'm in America. Look at this, America. Look at this.
these poor little trees.
You
See,
know,
the reason why I thought you were still there is because
because you know,
you're so happy there.
yeah.
And that's now where I
But I
imagine you
came
is in
back
this
here.
happy
There's a
place.
reason I came. I came back in January because I had to. Since I wanted. Well, this is all changed now, but you have to go back. You have to come back to America if you're married. If you want your wife to come back with you to visit.
Okay.
So I had to come back here to get a visa for her to come
Okay.
back here. But I have not been able to get that visa yet for her because things have changed.
Yeah. And
Don't
that
know
was very
what this
recently.
international travel. What do you mean?
The changes.
As far as
Like
yeah, something called the coronavirus. That's changed everything. I mean, it's hard to. What happened is that I came back here near the end of January. That was my goal,
mhm.
among other things I'm doing too. And I knew because in November, when I was still in Bangkok, there were folks who were coming from China. They would come to the Bangkok airport
Mhm.
and they were being tested then in November.
Oh,
They were being
wow.
stopped as once they got off the flight, they were getting swabbed on their hands. They were like, taking their temperatures. And this was in November
Okay.
2019.
Okay.
So it was like folks in Asia, folks in Thailand, in Bangkok, they knew something was coming. Something is definitely was coming out of China. No
Okay.
one knew it was going to be like this is going to stop the world. But there
Right.
was a virus. No one called it, corona then. They just knew there was something from China at the time.
Right.
The Chinese folks were like coming to Thailand, coming to other countries over there, and they were, something wasn't right.
Mhm.
So so I was aware of that, but I never thought it'd be like this because I wouldn't
Yeah,
even have left. I would never have even left Bangkok.
I get that.
I
Yeah, I
never
have
would
some
have. I did bring. See, I was kind of. My concern was enough that I bought a mask with me just in
okay.
case, which I've used. I have a number of masks that I've
Mhm.
had to use because you have to use a mask. And see, I'm used to wearing masks anyway in Bangkok and some other areas of Asia because sometimes there's pollution and
Right.
people actually wear masks. So I got used to that.
Right.
So I'm used to wearing a mask, walking around, no problem. And being an African American man, it was the first time I could wear a mask in a bank and nobody do anything to me in Thailand or
Mhm.
anywhere. And that was funny. But now you have, it's suggested you should wear a mask here. You should definitely do that. But yeah, so that's what happened. And that's why I'm here. So the minute all this is done, once they say international flights are a go, I'm
Yeah,
out of here.
I get that.
I was planning on staying longer, but I don't want to take the risk because frankly, Tamika, and I'm gonna tell, I know this is gonna be a second wave of this. If it's like
Yeah.
any sickness that's out there, and I don't want to be in this country when the second one comes. I don't want to be around for that. I want to be back home. If something's gonna happen over there, at least I'll be in my home. I'll be with my wife, and I'll be with people I know, and I won't be here.
Right.
Because unlike here, I mean, at least the folks in Asia know how to handle the situation.
Mhm.
The incompetence you have in the federal government here, They could have stopped all this. They could have stopped and slowed it down. It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
This
I
whole thing of doing this, opening up some of the cities is a joke. Because Colorado, I know Denver's supposed to be opening up. I think this week,
next week, I think.
next
Yeah,
week. Okay,
pretty
yeah.
soon.
And this place, I don't know. I don't know about this place. It may open up soon, but no, that's ridiculous. That's crazy. That's
Yeah,
the that's the federal government listening to corporations that want their money.
yeah.
They want to get money from customers and all that. But there's no customers if they don't have any jobs, and that's what's going on in this country.
It sure
They're
seems
getting
like
ready to
it.
go to, and I hate to say, I mean, there's going to be a serious depression here, a
Mhm.
very serious depression. And I don't want to be around here to experience that. I want to be somewhere at least where people know how to survive on more or less than, they don't need a lot.
Yeah,
Thailand, Malaysia, Indonesia, all those places over there, you don't need a lot. You don't need a lot to survive.
I think.
You don't need, uh huh.
Well, I think a lot of us are learning that here too, is that we do have a lot. There is no lack. And there is this story that we're being sold all the time. And it's like, I think I just heard a talk by Arundhati Roy through Hay
Oh,
House Market
yeah.
Books. And she talked
Uh-huh.
about, she compared it to the coronavirus is like an MRI over the whole system. And so it's like,
Yeah.
you can't unsee it, right? You can't
Right.
unsee what you see underneath that skin or
Right.
that facade. And I'm just wondering, like, what are the things that we're going to put in place, or even headspace, mental headspace for the lot of us, so that we don't go back? Like, how do we not go back to what we were before? And are we
How do
able
we
to
not go
actually go
back?
back? Yeah, how do we not go back, or are we even able to at this point?
You ain't going back. It's like for someone, someone your age, younger than me, it's like 9/11.
Hmm.
Things changed after 9/11. The Patriot Act came into place.
Yep.
The airport, going to the airport became a chore rather than enjoyment. It's
Hmm.
going to be like that. It's going to be, I mean, how are you going to go to sporting events, music events? I mean, when I saw that they canceled City Park Jazz this summer, I said, oh, that's it.
Yeah,
Ain't
it's
nothing going on. Nothing's going on. I saw that. I said, that's it.
better break
That's
out the
it.
board games.
Yeah, that's it. There ain't nothing going on. Let alone the sporting events, all these other events. And I really feel for the musicians.
Hmm.
A lot of these folks that would go to places like Dazzle or City Park Jazz or
Hmm.
something, because they're not getting any gigs, so they're not getting any money.
Right.
And I know at the end of this, when all this first wave, when it ends, a lot of these folks, a lot of these clubs are gonna be closing up.
Hmm.
A lot of folks are just not going to be able to do the old gigs that they were doing.
And that, yeah, I have been wondering about that as well. Um,
You know,
something
I'm
interesting.
wondering about when I go back. I'm wondering what the plane is going to look like.
Hmm.
I I'm doing an international flight. Even if I was doing a local flight, what's the planes going to look like now?
Yeah.
The middle seats, are they going to take them out? Are they going to expand the aisleway, which I don't think you can do?
Right.
I mean, it's going to take forever to get on a plane if you do social distancing. If you're six
Yeah.
feet apart from each other, it's going to take all day.
Yeah.
If you're leaving at 6 in the evening, you got to get there probably about 6 in the evening the next day.
Dang.
Hard even planning the boarding.
I think that's a really good question to explore for sure.
Oh, I mean, there's
Um,
a whole bunch of things like, are there going to be? I mean, I'm next to a park, the swimming pool over there. I mean, are people going to swim again in public swimming pools?
mm,
Are gyms? I mean, I know in Atlanta, in Georgia, they opened up the gyms there, but it's like, how's that going to work? How's that going to work?
yeah.
You can't keep 6 feet when the gym is. You've been to a gym; it's very narrow. It's hard.
Yeah.
I
Yep.
mean, all you think about all of this. Going to a restaurant. I mean, all of this, going anywhere, going to the store, going to, I went to, it surprised me the other day when I went to Walmart here. I mean,
Mhm.
Walgreens, not Walmart, Walgreens, and they had went to the cashier, and they had the glass up in this one at the cash register.
Yep.
Which usually you see that in some thug areas, like
Yeah.
at the liquor store. So I was like, wow, man. So they're doing that now,
Yeah. That's one of
and
the questions I've been having is like, I went to the post office the other day and I'm not totally happy with the way I was in there. But it just felt really, I know that the person that was in front of me was very stressed out and
uh-huh,
just very, like, very strict about what was going on there. And
right,
every time I tried to make a human connection, there wasn't a human connection there. It was just like, this is what we're doing and this is how we're doing
right.
it. And it threw me off a lot. It made me feel really uncomfortable and agitated. And I'm just really hoping that that's not the direction we're going. And I'm just wondering if there are ways to
Well,
like
I hope
maintain.
not.
Yeah,
Well,
I'm
you got
hoping
to keep.
to.
I mean, what you're doing right now, I mean, doing things like this, talking to various people,
Yeah.
keeping calm, and as things are going on, being positive around folks who may need that positiveness,
Hmm.
but don't let it get to you because it's just something that you can't solve yourself.
Yeah, I
You
know
can't
that.
solve. I mean, you can only solve your little area. You can't solve this. This is something that's they've never had anything that stopped the world.
Right.
The influenza of 1917, 1918, and
Hmm.
1919 did not stop the world. It didn't stop the world. Things still went on.
Yeah.
All things function. It's a little bit different, but you can say technology is different now, but things didn't change. Things, they moved on to black flag, if you want to look at something like that, in the
Hmm.
Middle Ages. Prior to the Middle Ages, that didn't stop, Europe. You can look at the diseases all over the world. It didn't stop things, but this has stopped everything.
Yeah.
It has stopped everything. And I being the conspiracy theorist, I mean, I just know that this is like more to it than just a virus.
I
That's all I'm gonna
definitely,
say.
yeah, I have my ideas too. I've mostly been keeping them to myself, but yeah, there seems to be a little bit of some dog wagging and also
Yeah.
utilizing this as an opportunity for certain aims. I'm not an expert on that or anything, but it
Well,
seems strange and eerie.
well, you just mentioned something. If folks, if you want to see a movie that'll give you an idea of what may happen, what's going on, check
Hmm.
out Wag the Dog. I mean, that's
Yep,
a movie that
I
kind of
remember that.
talks about the stuff.
Hmm.
And if you don't, if you really don't want to read some stuff or learn some stuff that may scare you, just look at some movies like that to get an idea. Because I'm gonna
Yeah.
give you listeners. I'm gonna give you what my mentors used to tell me. When I was a kid, that sometimes movies will give you a hint of what's going on in the world.
Hmm.
And
Yep.
sometimes, and it's because if you really want to get into something, and there are a number of books on it, been a number of lectures on this, and if you ever sit through a movie now, yeah, I mean, you can't go to a movie now, but if you look at your DVD or something,
Hmm.
at the end of movies, you usually see, approved by the corporation of the
Mm.
U.S. Army,
Mhm.
sometimes the CIA, sometimes the FBI. They have to approve every script. And sometimes they slip
Whoa.
in things. Or you didn't know that.
Now it makes, oh no, I didn't know that.
Oh, you didn't know. I can give you a whole, oh God, I could tell you.
Woo.
Oh yes. Oh yes, yes. Yes, you got it. That's one of the things. They approve scripts.
Uh-huh.
That started the in the 80s. They started doing that. They have to approve these scripts. Sometimes, I mean, some independents, they don't do that, but your major studios, your major movies, oh yeah, they
Wow.
approve it.
Yeah, that makes sense. And it
And I
makes,
want you to research that. I want you to go and look at that online. I want you to research that. There are a number of books on that, and I want
okay.
you to look at that.
Yeah, and if you'd be willing to send some of your favorites too, that'd be all right, because you always have really great
Oh, I
music
got,
and book recommendations that,
yeah,
um, yeah. Um, yeah, and I'm totally willing to look up some of that stuff. I think that's part of the reason why I'm doing this is like I just noticed in, the copy chats I was doing, we
uh-huh,
learn from each other and
right,
also comfort each other in a lot of ways.
right,
And so that we're not just swirling around in our own headspace.
right,
Um, and it's just like, I've been overthinking about how I want to do this, but really it's this simple. It's just us having a conversation
right.
and connecting.
That's all it is.
Hmm.
You don't have to overthink it. Just do it.
You've
Just
told me
go
that
ahead and do it.
before.
I know. I told you that many years ago. That's all you gotta do. Overthink it ain't gonna get you nowhere. Eventually, you overthink
Not
it. Next thing you know, it's gone.
nothing. Yeah. And so I'm finally getting to, that podcast idea with the tools that are
I'm glad
available
of
right
that.
now. So,
Right.
um,
I'm glad of that.
well, I do want to put just really quick, and I'll write it up in the blurb I put too. Is like I know you from KUVO in Denver, from the Gospel Train, um, and
Uh huh.
like you were very
And many other stations too. There.
and many other stations too. Um,
KGNU.
okay,
If
yep,
you know
KGNU,
KGNU.
and there are
Party
friends. Yep.
93. KDKO is where I started in Denver.
Okay.
Um, DCTV television doing a boxing and sports show.
Awesome.
It's a lot of stuff, but Facebook, because I put all that stuff on Facebook, put it on Twitter, but Facebook in particular, it limits people.
It
People
can.
don't know, I always talk about I'm like on a no longer be on Facebook because sometimes I think it's a waste of time, just
I th-
because when it's really something when people say, like you just said to me, like when people say, well, how is it in Thailand? I say, well, I guess it's fine. My wife tells me it's fine, but I'm right now in America, so hey.
And then, I mean, I think that points to that whole like illusion that we're still, kind of trapped in a little bit, that Facebook connects us. And yes, and there are extra efforts we have to put in place, especially because of algorithms, right? So there are
Oh
things
God,
that
those
we
things. That's why I throw them off. I'm not gonna say, but there's things I do on there to
Mhm.
throw them off,
Mhm.
so they don't send me the same thing.
Yeah.
That's all I'm gonna say. You got to throw them off. The little bots they got on there,
Yep.
But and the thing is, it takes something you may not have seen, but I got, when was it? Actually in November.
Mhm.
I got warned by Facebook,
Uh-oh.
and I got warned for something I posted on there about Emmett Till, because I showed a picture of Emmett, and you know who Emmett Till was.
Well, yeah.
And I showed a picture of him, what happened, when the Ku Klux Klan beat him and killed him and all. And I showed that and I talked about it.
Mhm.
Now I got reprimanded for that, for doing that. A post, I got reprimanded in November 2019 for a post I put up in 2007.
Mhm.
Do you hear what I'm saying?
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. Um,
2007.
mhm.
I get reprimanded almost, 12 years later.
Interesting. Yeah. I feel like I really am a true believer in using the tools you have, and pushing against it as
Right.
much as possible, and then finding ways around it too,
That's
because
what I try to
you know
do.
yeah.
But keep in mind too that Mark Zuckerberg connected with the Pentagon.
Hmm.
He is met with various factions of the government, and you can look it up. I'm not saying making all this up. All these things are connected.
Yeah.
And just keep in mind, I'm telling folks, enjoy the internet while you can. Enjoy
Yeah.
YouTube, Facebook, whatever, because eventually you're going to have to pay for all that.
It seems like we're heading in that direction for
You have
sure.
to pay.
Um,
You know,
And that's why I'm saying, like, as a people, while we're able to use these things,
Use it.
use it, and use your powers for good if you so choose,
Right.
and amplify it any way you can.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's
Um,
that's all I say.
well, do you have anything else to add, or like
I got tons of things to add. What you want me to add? I can tell you a whole lot of things here. If you there's a whole lot I can tell you. What do you want to know?
I don't know, a lot of things. I guess one thing I'm really concerned
Well,
about personally.
I mean, no one asked me, well, what was it like? What's it like coming back here?
Yeah, actually, that's a
No one
really
ever
good
asked me.
question.
And I have to say that I tell folks, frankly, I feel like I've been away 30 years, not 3 years.
Oh, wow.
Oh yeah, I mean, I just like things that I see that I have to do. I mean, simple things like I had forgotten how to use my credit card to put the chip in because I had to
Mm-hmm.
do that over there. I had to do that
Right.
crap over there. I have to do that. I first time I drove an electric car here. I've never driven one of those.
Mm-hmm.
Things about how at this, and the thing too is how much waste is over here.
So
I have to
much
say waste.
waste.
I have to
Yeah.
say waste as far as going in the stores. I came back here, going to these little grocery stores and seeing, uh, for example, like a cake, a slice of cake. In Thailand, in most Asian countries, if you want a slice of cake, and I wasn't looking for this, but it caught my eye. Slice of cake is a slice.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Here, it's like this big block of, it's like a huge thing.
Yeah.
And I've forgotten that how much
It's like
people
three
just like,
slices in one slice.
I forgot. I forgot how, I just forgot all that. It's
Yeah.
ridiculous. And how much people don't really appreciate what they have. I mean, I've seen people over in Asia who live like something literally like under my porch, like
Mm-hmm.
living in something like that. But they're happy and they keep it clean. I've seen people living under aluminum siding on top of it.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen a family who works on a fence I live near a canal. They were working on a fence, and by night they live under the bridge, which is right by the fence.
Mm-hmm.
And you got everything you can think of under that bridge, but they're clean. Their little area is very clean. It's very clean, and they make do with what they got. And
Right.
that happens over there. It happens. You know, I, you know, the place I live in over there, if I was in Denver, it would be, let's see, 27, $270 versus where I live, you probably have to pay about $2,500 or so.
Whew.
And I'm paying
Yeah.
like less than 300 with a balcony, with room,
Mm-hmm.
rooms, a gymnasium, all of that.
Mm-hmm.
Lobby. I mean, it's just everything. It's just
Yeah.
amazing. But people, they make do with what they have. And here they don't, that's why I can see why people would panic here.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas I look at what, because I look at every day, I look at the Thai news, I talk to my wife, and I can just see how people accept things over there. They may not like some, I admit they don't like some things, but they know how to come together to stop something.
Right.
They know how somebody's coughing over there. They can move out the way. Somebody's over park coughing. See, that's the other
Mm-hmm.
thing. Now, I'm only reason I don't have a mask on because I'm at my place.
Right.
I step out of here, go over to that park over here. I got my mask on.
Mm-hmm.
I got my gloves on. I'm protecting myself.
Sure. Yeah.
And a lot of people don't want to do that.
There was a really good video I saw about how the mask is helping to protect the person in front of me, and if they're wearing a mask, it's also protecting me.
Yeah,
And I feel like that's something that's missing in this country. I know I've noticed it in the neighborhoods I walk around in. Is I don't know if people are suffering some kind of like anxiety to the point where they just don't know what to do, or there's just like,
they
like
don't
fuck
know.
it attitude, or if they just
Yeah,
don't care, or if they just think they're impervious. So that's what
I think
matters.
it's a combination of all that. And then when you
um
got a president telling you, last week that you can drink a bleach and that you
mhm,
can, you can do things. I mean, when you have and I have to say this, and I tell people this, and only a handful, less than a handful of my friends will do this. I
mhm,
tell them, look at those press conferences every day.
mhm.
Don't look at the feed after the fact. Don't look at the little sound bites. Watch the
Right.
press
Look at the
conferences
actual press conference.
because
That
you'll see it's worse than what you will hear on CNN, MSNBC, Fox, or whatever you look at, or
Yeah,
Denver News, whatever you're looking at. It's worse.
right.
It's worse because you got to look. I look at it this way. I was telling a buddy of mine this. You got to look at this like this place has been invaded by something, something from outer space. And so therefore, I want to know every minute what the government is thinking.
Mhm.
Because this is like an invasion. You're locked out, you're locked down, you're limited. It's like something that's taken over the world. And it may have, but that's another story.
It may have what?
It may have taken over the world, something that we don't know about, but that's another story.
That
But
is another story. Yeah.
the thing is that, like I said earlier, this is a worldwide situation that has never happened.
Right.
Never happened.
Yep.
Even 9/11, that still didn't lock down the. I mean, it changed some rules,
It
but it
changes.
didn't.
Yeah.
It didn't lock down the world where nobody could come out of their house. No
Right.
one could go to a movie or go to see. Everything was just canceled. That's a whole different world.
Yeah.
So to
Well,
answer your question earlier about things are coming back, I know it won't. It won't. It can't.
yeah.
They're putting in technology as I speak to you on this phone, and you're on Zoom. We're both on Zoom, but
Yeah.
the technology is in place, and they're using it already in China. They're using it in what else did I see? Actually they're using it in Thailand too. And they're using it, I think, in some parts of Europe.
Yep.
They're using it in Nigeria, where
I heard
they're
about
going to
that as
track
well.
you on your phone. And
Mhm.
you can be tracked anywhere on your phone anyway, but it's going to be legitimate to
Right.
let you know, let those powers that be know that you have not been with anyone who may have the virus.
Right.
They want to know you. They want to know your steps.
Right.
They want to know exactly where you've been, and that's going on. That's being implemented as it's already implemented. That's all I know. This conversation we're having right now, it's already been recorded,
Yeah, I figure
not by
everything.
you, not
Yeah,
by you.
I figure everything that's out here, and I mean, even just walking the streets in a city, I just figure
Yeah,
it's all out there.
yeah. I mean, there's cameras everywhere.
Mm,
Unfortunately, you're just watching everything. There's one right there. There's camera right there. Camera right
mhm,
on there. This little quiet neighborhood. There's a camera.
mm,
So you're being monitored. You're being monitored. If you're on your computer, you're monitored then. You're monitored on your phone. There's no way you can go undercover in this world now.
right.
There were some folks that one time thought they could like go under the grid and all that. You can't do that now.
Yeah, I
There's no
wonder
way.
how that would work.
You
And
can't.
that's an interesting question I would like to ask some folks, but the folks that I would ask, they're not able to answer that question on something like Zoom. You know what I'm saying?
Right. You talking
So
about like homeless folks?
no, no, I'm not talking about folks who are experiencing homelessness, but maybe I'm talking about folks who um, know the inner workings of certain systems that are already in place that,
right?
maybe could um, be off the grid. But it takes, I think, specialized knowledge.
They not if they know the systems, they're not off the grid,
Mm,
despite what they can tell you. And I read these little magazines.
mm-hmm.
I've been fortunate to get some of them for free of this subscription service. I can get some of the stuff like Off the Grid magazine, Recoil, all these little right wing crazy magazines. But they
Mm-hmm.
tell you things. They tell you little things. That's why I tell folks, don't just read the stuff that your buddies read. And it's like, okay, we're all in the same, we believe the same things politically. Read the opposite so you can know
Yes.
something. Read the
Yeah.
opposite. And it gets back to me saying, look at the press conferences,
Right.
what this president is doing. I mean,
Right.
look, so many people tell me, well, I don't like his voice. I don't like his voice either, but I want to know what they're doing.
Yeah.
I want to know exactly what's going on. It's my world, and I want to know what's going on in the world, in
I get
this
that.
situation. I
Well,
definitely want to know that.
I have to close this up pretty soon.
Okay.
But I wanted to, I don't know, give an opportunity for folks to find you online with your podcasts and radio shows, and anything else you would like attention drawn to.
Ah, let me see. The main thing is like for these folks that pay attention to their own selves and pay attention to their own biorhythms in their body. Pay attention, use some common sense, and
Right?
don't wait for someone to give you instructions. Use your common sense. You've been getting, the sun and everything rotate, everything is in place, and you are part of that. You're part of you're part of the universe. And that's separate from all this. And you can, if you waken your mind up,
Yeah.
you can see things differently. And you open up, you believe in it, open up your third eye. Open that up. Look at that. Get yourself healthier if you
Hmm.
can, but just be aware. Your gut instinct is always go with your gut instinct. Do not let other forces try to convince you otherwise. Don't do that. So that's the thing, one of the messages. That's the message I could give to everyone. That's the one thing. As far as finding me, you can always just Google my name, Greg, Greg, last name Rasheed, Rasheed. You'll see all my stuff
That's true.
from the present to the past. Present to the past. You'll see all of that. And you'll get a better but get a better understanding of yourself. Get a chance. This is a perfect opportunity if you're being inside to read, study, and not play games. Just sit there. So many folks are like, there's something called TikTok, whatever that thing is. They're doing silly stuff. Get on there and like really study before
Yeah.
all this is taken away from you. Gain some knowledge. Don't wait. Never wait. Just keep moving.
I think that's
So
amazing advice. Yeah. Because, I mean,
excuse
we
me.
don't, that was another thing that I heard in that talk from Haymarket with
Mm-hmm.
Arundhati Roy. It's just like we have a past
Right.
and we have no idea what the future looks like. And like we're in kind of a no place right now where,
Right.
like a bus station or an airport where nothing happens there but a passing through.
Right.
And often it's very confusing and very
Kind of like
disconcerting.
the Denver city and county building, but that's
I don't know. I don't
that's
know
another.
about that, but that
Oh, you haven't experienced that. Okay.
I mean, I've
Ask
gone
Michael
to a meeting
Hancock,
there.
but
I have gone to a meeting there, and it's an interesting process. Um,
yeah, yes, it
yeah,
is.
and it does feel kind of like a no
Because
place.
I don't know if this is going just to Denver. That's why I'm doing a lot of these Denver, Colorado references because
Hmm.
I'm assuming this is just going to the westward crowd and all that.
I mean, I'm not really connected with them per se.
Okay. Okay.
This is a rogue effort.
Okay. Rogue, you know,
Yes.
it's like, that's good. But yeah, you know, just work on, you know, everyone just use this opportunity to gain some knowledge. Just
Yeah.
learn about what's going on, learn about yourself.
Yeah.
You know, learn, do that. And folks are going to come out of here, no matter what, with different view of the world of themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Some people will never, you know, some people who have jobs will
Yep.
never go back to a building again because they don't want to.
I heard that.
Some people are realizing they want to. Yeah, that's right. You know, some
Mm-hmm.
people are realizing they'll never ever. You know, they might change their careers completely.
I've been seeing a lot of that in my feeds and
Yeah.
hearing that from people. It's
Some
like
people
this
might
is
leave whatever country they're in. You know, the U.S. They might leave. They might decide after everything is all right just to leave,
right.
or you know, or move to another state. But people are just seeing some things. They're seeing, and
Right.
they have to make the changes. They have to, you know, they have to make changes.
Yep.
Don't do like the people like in Atlanta, you know, when they had opened up the nail salons and people were in line to do that. So that's nothing.
Yeah.
That's nothing.
I mean, I will not begrudge anyone their creature comforts. That's I feel like
Yeah,
I know for me, like I'm used to working all the time and going all the time, and I'm learning that my creature comforts are very important, and
right,
even some of my guilty pleasures, because those are the things that help to spark little joys. And I think it's important not to get stuck at that little joys
right,
level, but to
right,
create something stronger. And I believe
right.
those creature comforts are still, you know, I think we need them. And
Well,
I don't know, I
yeah.
have seen some fly ass nails. I'm just saying. I've seen some amazing
But let me
nails.
ask you, Tamika, would you actually, in this time,
Mhm.
go to it after all months of like not
Yeah.
being around folks,
Mhm.
going back to a nail salon where someone cannot stand 6 feet away from
Yeah.
you and do your nails? Because
Not personally. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I mean, nail salon. You notice even prior to this, folks wear masks anyway because it's poisons that's in there.
Yeah.
You know, you know that's the other thing. So it's you know I don't get it. But people like you said, they have their own little creature comforts. They want them, so go right ahead.
Yeah.
Go right ahead.
Yeah.
Go right ahead. Do whatever you want.
That
But the
seems to
main
be
thing
the
is
sentiment.
yeah.
And
But
that's
just use your gut reaction. Don't be so commercial. Don't
yeah.
be, you know, caught in commercialism. Don't do that.
And and
That's the thing.
gut reaction, not knee jerk. There's a difference, right?
That's right. You know, knee jerk reaction is like, oh, they open up the city now. I can go get my nails done.
Mhm.
Gut reaction is, you know, something's telling me I shouldn't go there. Things aren't safe yet for me, but I got to get my nails done. It's like,
Yeah, and then you figure out other
that-
ways. Yeah,
yeah.
maybe. Uh, so, well, um, I'm, I don't know. I
I'm
don't
looking
know
at a
how to
dog
close
over there,
this.
so well, I can close it by just saying goodbye. I can
Well,
say that, you know.
well, and thank you for chatting with me. And
Thank you.
I'm gonna hit the record button. But if you could hold on.
I'm holding on. I'll be still.